everyone, my name is Chloe, and today I'm here to do another kind of discussion-y video. So last week I talked about breaking up with authors, and just it's something I've been thinking about and kind of struggling with on my shelves and what I'm going to do with all of that. And so then today I was thinking about another thing that I personally am kind of struggling with. And so I wanted to hear everybody's thoughts because the discussion on the Breaking Up with Authors video was so awesome. You guys were just rock stars in commenting what you do, what your thoughts are, talking about the specific authors that I mentioned. Like, you guys were just awesome. And that's exactly what I was hoping for, that we would get some discussion, and you guys came through and nailed it. So, this time I'm looking for more help because I don't know what to do, because I am asking, do you go back and re-rate books that you have already read? So what started me thinking about this was Brittany C. Cherry. So I talk about her as often as I can because I love her. And so different videos have come up where of other people's where I'm thinking about specific Brittany C. Cherry books and recommending them, or they're talking about them or whatever. And so I'm thinking back to when I did a binge read of hers. I had only read Eleanor and Gray, and so then I binged 4 or 5, I think 4, and like back to back to back to back. And doing it that way, her books are all very, very similar in tone. They're all very emotional, hard-hitting romances. And typically they have like a young adult section. Like, there's a time when the people knew each other as kids, and then here they are as adults. That's not the case in all of them by any means, but that does happen a fair amount, that there is like a YA or new adult component to them. And so reading them back to back to back got a little bit draining just because they are emotionally impactful. And so I rated them all around a 4-star. But now thinking back, like, there's one specifically, Behind the Bars, that really stands out to me as better than the rest. And it's one that now, months later, I can still tell you the whole plot, the characters' names, all of that. Whereas the others I remember, but not at the same capacity. So now I'm like, do I go back and make that a 5-star? Because I don't know, there's a couple little squibbles I have with it, but for the most part, like, I'm recommending that book as often as I can. I have good feelings and good memories about it, and like, to me, it has stood the test of time. Now, not really, because it's only been a couple months, but I feel like it has kind of cemented itself in my head as one of those that I will remember forever. And at the time, I didn't necessarily see it that way because I was reading so many of her books back to back to back, and it was kind of like another similar tone. And so I thought, well, this isn't exceptional in the grand scheme of things. But now that I've read a bunch of other stuff, I'm like, no, that really was exceptional. So do I go back and re-rate it without rereading it? I don't know. Like, I want to remember that it stands out, and I think it actually probably deserves at least a 5-star rating on Goodreads. Maybe it's more like 4.5, but I think it's definitely closer to 5 than 4 for me. So do I go back and re-rate it? I don't know. So many books are like that for me, where like they are 5 or 4, really, really high star ratings for me. And then now, months or years or however long later, I'm like, I don't even remember that. So does it actually deserve a 5-star? I don't know. Like, do I go back? And prior to, like, recently, I would say, no, don't re-rate it unless you reread it. Then when you reread it, you can change your rating, do whatever you want to do, and do an updated review or something. But, like, with books that I've just read within this year, and, like, things like that Brittany C. Cherry, where the context may have been the rating killer, do I do it? I don't know. And same with the opposite of, like, books that I rated really higher than they deserve. Do I go back and lower it now, seeing that I don't remember any of it? I don't know. Like, what are your thoughts? I think as a mood reader, so much of my rating for a book depends on my mood and the context and what I've read, like, around the book, what I've read before it, and, like, if I'm in the middle of a readathon, that kind of thing, that, like, those things impact my initial rating a lot. And I'm the type that, like, I finish a book, I want to get on and immediately rate it and write my review. And so then when I have some time and some perspective on it, do I go back and change it now that I'm in a different mood or now that I've read other things? And I don't know, because I think your gut instinct has some value. And so if it's 4 stars in the moment, then maybe it just deserves to be left as 4 stars. And so maybe the ones that I think are standouts to me, either way of like needing to be higher or lower than I rated them, maybe I do need to reread and see instead of going back to change them. I don't really know. I am really curious to know everybody else's thoughts. I don't know if this will apply as much to non-mood readers because you can read things a little more objectively. But for me, who is a mood reader, who really gets caught up in all of like the context of reading, I think I don't know, and like this Palm South University series I'm currently reading and really enjoying because there's a lot going on in my life right now and I really just want something kind of superficial and cheesy, and it's fitting that bill exactly. But then in a month or two, am I going to remember the book? And at that point, do I change it? I don't know. So what are your guys' thoughts? Please let me know. Again, thank you for the discussion on the last video. I hope this one spurs a similar discussion and you guys can help me out because I really do, I would like to change the rating just so at the end of the year and stuff when I go through my favorites and least favorites and all of that, I have more of an appropriate rating. But is my rating now the more appropriate one or the rating when I did it? I don't know. You guys help me out. I hope you are having a wonderful day and we'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.